Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. Story illuminates story. Yesterday, when I was reading over the story of the fish and the 5 loaves, where Jesus feeds a multitude on some little boy's lunch, I remembered this story. I was on a plane and we were going somewhere that was supposed to take an hour and a half, and it ended up taking 9 hours because there was mechanical and then there was weather. And so we sat on that plane for quite some time. I was in first class and they came by with loads of snacks and beverages and anything you want from that big old basket. But folks in coach were complaining because they were hungry and they needed something and they wanted something and they couldn't get it. A young man had come to the front of the plane and he asked politely if he could have something, a banana from the basket, because it was Ramadan and it was sundown. It was time to break his fast, but he thought he would be where he would be to break the fast with his family, and he didn't have the proper food or any food with him. The flight attendant barely listened to his story and just was pushing him to go back to the back of the plane. And I heard what was going on, and I said, "Young man," and he said, "Yes." And I said, "Wait." And I got up and I pulled down the lunch basket that I had in my luggage. My daughter had given me one of those thermo containers, and I had packed a meal of a homemade veggie sandwich. It was a veggie burger, actually, and I had chips and I had fruit and I had homemade vegetarian banana bread and I had some vegetarian cookies and, and all kinds of stuff. I had fruit and veggies and carrot sticks and hummus. And so I opened it and his eyes did this. And I said, "You can take any or all of it. Here, take the bag." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, take it." So he went to the back and he had a good meal. And I explained to him that it was all vegetarian and halal, and he was very, very grateful. So he came back and he had a napkin that had dates in it. And, there was a napkin with the dates. And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And he was like, "I want to share this with you." And at first I was like, I don't eat fan food," which is just kind of like stupid thing that I say when people want to share their unwrapped food with me. Anyway, um, and then I usually share. So anyway, I ate one of these dates and it was the sweetest date I'd ever tasted. It burst in my mouth with so much flavor. And he said, when you help someone break their fast, it's as if you fasted also. So prepare for the joy and the goodness and the things that you've been praying for in your life. And the sweetness of the date is what you do after you break the fast, reminding you that life is sweet and joyful and what have you. So yesterday when I read that story of this little boy, I focused on the little boy who was willing to share when no one else was prepared. And it reminded me of that time on that flight. But I really needed that peace, because even though I knew that story, I didn't fully grasp it, that it's the sharing. Here I was, this Black Christian woman in first class, and this young male Muslim from coach. We needed each other to understand the entire story that's in the sharing and the giving thanks for whatever it is you have that makes everything all right. I love you, and thank you for sharing with me.